So today's video is inspired by Halloween, which will be here in just a couple days. I thought I'd show you guys on how to make your very own do-it-yourself family Halloween costumes with purchasing items simply from the dollar store. The theme for this costume is s'mores. Now this is something we do every single year. I know the first year we ended up doing stormtroopers and Ewoks. The next year we ended up being Care Bears. I'm not too sure on how much my husband enjoys doing this, but we usually end up having a lot of fun once we get dressed up and going out, and I honestly have a blast. My husband deep down thinks I'm just like a child inside, but if I have an opportunity to dress up, I'm doing it. Just keep watching if you're interested in learning on how to make your very own do-it-yourself family Halloween costume. So the first step to creating your Hershey chocolate bar costume is you're going to want to make sure you get the proper measurements. I'm going to be measuring from her underarm to the top of her kneecap and then across her chest, measuring from underarm to underarm. Now that you have the proper measurements, you can take those and mark them out onto your foam board, making sure that you create a front and back piece. So now that the measurements have been marked out onto the foam board, now you can take a straight edge of some sort. I'm just going to be taking this square right here and trace out my lines. This is what I'm going to use as an outline for my cut. Now, taking your X-Acto knife or a pair of scissors, you can cut along the lines that you just put on your foam board. Now that the front and back pieces have both been created, let's get to the fun part, Hershey Graphics. Now all I did here was simply take the graphic picture Hershey's and printed it off on 3 separate sheets so I could make it as big as possible, and I did this was just simply changing out some of the settings on my printer. If you don't have a printer at home, you can go to one of your local libraries and they'll most likely print off these pages for you for just a small fee. If you don't have a printer and you don't want to go to your local library, you can just take some brown paint and paint your board brown and then paint in the word Hershey's and make it as close as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. Next, in a well-ventilated room, I'm going to be taking this Elmer's Craft Bond spray adhesive and I'm going to be spraying it onto this tin foil and then placing the top or bottom piece, either or, because I'm going to be doing it with both, on top of this and then folding up the edges of the tin foil. And that's pretty much it for the Hershey chocolate bar. You're just going to be repeating the same steps on the opposite side. Moving on to the marshmallow, all you're going to need is a pop-up hamper along with a sheet of the snow blanket, some scissors, and a hot glue gun. This costume has to be the easiest one out of them all. All you're going to do is take your clothing hamper, turn it upside down, cut a hole at the top of it so you can let your head pop out, as well as just putting a hole on either side of the hamper so your arms can poke out. This is the look we're kind of going for. Now that our head and our armholes have been cut out of the hamper, we can now take our snow blanket and start layering it over top of the hamper, creating kind of a marshmallow look, and then along the way gluing it down with our hot glue gun. Now don't worry if you did cover up the holes, you can go back over with some scissors and just simply cut out an X sort of shape, and that's going to allow you to be able to insert your arm and your head in and out of this very easily. Just make sure that the holes are going to be big enough to accommodate for any layers that you may be wearing that evening. Now heading into the final step of this Halloween costume, I am going to be using a piece of this foam board, following with a roll of corkboard that I found at the dollar store, and I'm going to cut this to size and then glue it on top. Next, you're going to want to measure and mark your center point of your graham cracker. Now that your center point has been marked out, you're going to want to take each half and divide it into 3x3 sections and mark each corner point. Now that all the measuring and marking has been done, we're going to take some brown paint and just do all the detailing. Now on the back side, we didn't have enough corkboard to do the exact same thing, so we decided that we were going to do just a typical cardboard, so I will show you guys what we used as an alternative. So on the back side, we decided to use this science board. This here I also picked up at the dollar store along with everything else that we used in this video, and all I did was end up cutting off the flaps and then cutting off a couple inches off the bottom. So you guys are probably wondering how we're going to strap these together so that we can wear them. We decided we're going to use some zap straps. Now on the Hershey one, because it is for one of the children, we are going to be using 2 zap straps for each side. And for our graham crackers, since it's Kaylin and I going to be wearing them, we decided we're going to be using 3 on each side. That there just gives us more room. Now you may need more, you may need less, it's going to vary for everyone. That is pretty much it, guys, but if you do want to go over the top and do one more little thing, you can purchase some of these orange wire lights, which are battery operated, along with red, orange, and possibly some yellow Bristol board. Cut out some flames and attach the flames and the lights onto the side of your wagon to create your fire for your s'mores. Give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't done so already. It really supports my channel, as well as subscribe as I upload new content every week. That pretty much wraps up our do-it-yourself family-themed Halloween costume with purchasing items from the dollar store. Let me know in the comments down below what your children are dressing up for Halloween, or if you guys are doing a family theme. Talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!